Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2 blind playthrough, and we are at stage 5, Blood Hotter Than Flame. And since we were at an ice level last time, of course we go into a fire level. Out of the flame into the ashes, I think the expression is called, but here it's more like out of the ice into fire. That was really lame and I apologize and I am ashamed. And this also, as far as I can remember, as I've said, I've been playing a few different other games in between playing Act 1 and Act 2, and that was really stupid. I did play through Blasphemous. I know I have ranted on and on about that, and if you're tired of hearing me rant about it, I think my friends are as well, because I've tipped off a few friends about that game and like, guys, you need to play this. This is amazing. But enough about that. I'm not gonna spend this entire project talking about that game. Instead, I want to encourage you to try it and find out for yourselves that the Wolfman was right. And I'm thinking about buying the game, or a new game that came out the other day, or a few days ago, called Mortal Shell, which seems to be a Dark Souls clone, so to speak. If you watched my videos, you probably know by now that I am a big Dark Souls fan. I've played through all of the games in the series and all of their DLCs, and also through Bloodborne, and if you watch my channel, you know that I have played through Sekiro as well, because I did a guide for that game. Still, as of now, still the guide I'm the most proud of. And one of the guides I had most fun making, actually, because I really love that game. I still call it my game of the year of 2019, and there was nothing to compare to it when it came to challenge or the amount of fun I had with that game. Because it was awesome. It was not as hard, I don't think, as some people would have you believe. People started review bombing it because it was too difficult, which I think is a really cheap thing to do. Just because you don't enjoy the game, it doesn't mean it's a bad game. And don't get me wrong, before you start mashing your keyboards and talking about that you maybe didn't get through that game, it was challenging, no doubt about it. But it was no Ghosts and Goblins. It could be beaten. And hopefully, as I said, I made a guide for it where I did my absolute best to make the game, to find the best strats I could to make the game as easy as possible. The thing is, with Sekiro, just like with all the Dark Souls games and Bloodborne, it's hardest at the beginning. When you have a small health bar, I feel that I have a small health bar going into this fight. Too small even. But it is hardest at the beginning, where you have a really small health bar, you don't have many special attacks, and you still, you haven't gotten into the controls yet. And that's the thing with all those games, because when you start unlocking new abilities, special moves, getting more healing items, it gets a lot easier. And that's when the game really gets fun. And it can feel like a steep threshold at the beginning. And but don't let that deter you, because you will miss out on great games, and they aren't for everyone. I am aware of this, and I don't want to be some kind of elitist asshole that says, well, get good, noob, because I think that is one of the douchiest moves you can do. And I hate the fact that a lot of Dark Souls fans or Soulsborne fans are like that. Because if there's something that deters a player even more, is other people telling you that you're shit. Like saying it's not hard, you just suck. That is really far from the truth. But they are games that force you to adjust to how the games work. The game will not adapt to you. You can adapt it a little bit, because there are usually a lot of ways to play it. Especially in Dark Souls, there are like a gazillion different weapons to suit different playstyles, and everyone can create their own character that fits their playstyle. Maybe you want to be quick and nimble. Maybe you want to be a super tank like Hachi and can take a big hit without going down. And you're able to do that. And that's what I think is also so great about Sekiro. That the fact, and that is something I talked about during the last boss fight in that game, which was my second to last episode, episode 17, if you want to check out that video. The fact that what I think is good about Sekiro in comparison to Dark Souls is that you don't have to mess around so much. You have one weapon, one main weapon, which is your sword. And since you're forced to use that throughout the entire game, and you're gonna have to learn how to parry, because that is the only way you're gonna be able to get through that. You cannot dodge like you did in Bloodborne or something like that, or you can dodge, of course, but you cannot rely on dodges to get you through the entire game. But since you're forced to use that one weapon, it is your main weapon. There are not a gazillion different weapons you can pick up. There are only a few prosthetic tools you can use to suit you in different situations. In the end, you will become good at using that weapon. And when you get into the mechanics of using it, that is when you can start mastering the game. But now I've talked a lot about Sekiro, and I've talked a lot about Dark Souls, and I've talked to no end about Blasphemous, and I'm gonna try not to mention that again. Because there is nothing more annoying than a guy that won't shut up. Says the guy who has a YouTube channel that is based around me playing video games and talking at no end about video games. And I do recognize the irony in that. Is this the time to break out Robert, perhaps? Let's see. Yes. He works quite well. So, first I want to get rid of that thing, and then we get rid of him, and then we do 2 quick jumps and we're past. And we get a little heart. Hopefully get a checkpoint as well. I'm not playing this very nimble, am I? I tank through a lot of hits, I feel. Maybe I should try to avoid that. a little bit because I remember there was an upgrade here at the end of this in Act 1, and I'm hoping there is one now too. Feels like the platforming is a little bit harder this time. It's just my memory that fails me, perhaps. Let's see. Yes, there is still an HP up. Thank you. That is something that feels very much needed here. And here is the checkpoint even. Right, that was something I realized in Act 1. And I just realized that I was an idiot. What I was saying was that I realized in Act 1 that that means we're just outside the boss room, doesn't it? That in Act 1. Let's try to complete a sentence, shall we? In Act 1, I struggled to get across to that max HP up. And got my ass handed to me more than once. And realized that there was a checkpoint in the next room. Okay, the flame snake. See if you have anything fancy. Nothing thus far. But I'm not gonna be... I think you were supposed to be close with this one. Yes. So nothing has changed since the last time, it seems. Ooh, big mistake. Yeah, why not face tank a hit? It's the bold man's way. I love the iron skin skill. Ooh. Try to avoid all the fireballs. Great. Well, I must say, he doesn't feel a lot harder. Oh shit. That was stupid. That was on me. I realized a split second too late what I was what kind of mistake I was doing. But that's okay. If I die now, which I did, that was the practice run. So we're gonna do a controlled death, because there is absolutely no chance I'm getting through that fight with just Robert. But I think he can serve us well. But if I recall correctly, on my first playthrough of this boss, I think I used Dominique a lot, because she could hit him from below. But the fact that we have 50 weapon points and 3 fighters willing and able to take down this giant lava snake should hopefully get us through this. And I say hopefully because I don't have any illusions yet. But his pattern is quite easy. I just have to remember which attack does what. Because these are quite easy to avoid. Let's see. So now we're getting close. Just try to put some damage in. Took a small hit. That's okay. You always have to assume that you're gonna take at least one hit. And that came a bit too close for comfort. Just start mashing him. Not quite sure how you're gonna avoid getting hit during that. I don't know if they expect you to just switch over to Hachi and activate your iron skin, or what the plan is with that. Here we're gonna try to put in as much damage as we absolutely can, and I'm doing a beast amount. Sangetsu is low, so Robert is gonna have to be our hero of the moment. Hopefully he'll do that tail head attack once again, or whatever you wanna call it. Right on cue. So we activate our iron skin, and then we try to put in as much damage as possible. Down goes the boss. Please let that be the end. Hachi can probably tank a desperation attack if there is one of those coming. Yes, there was, but that's okay because the boss is dead. Awesome. He was very similar to the Act 1 fight. Feels almost a wee bit uninspired. Stage 6, eyes on the... I have no idea what it said. Eyes on the prize, spire, whatever. It said something. I love the fact that you can hit things through platforms, because that makes this hell of a lot easier to know. Hopefully we will not be struggling as much this time going through this level. I'm gonna take the wimp's way here. Still not sure how you're supposed to get through that path on the left that you may have seen before I walked into this room, because that seems like something you would use Jebel for. Ow. Because yeah, I have no idea how you're supposed to do that. Right, this is the part where I should have gone on the enemy treasure chest thingy. Let's see if we can do that. Let's see if we can try and redo that. That was terrible. Just gonna let you guys go on your merry way and jump down. Come on, Nago. Whoa. Yeah, that went well. One last attempt. Use the iron skin. Whoa! I'm gonna say it did that on purpose, just to catch me off guard. Like, nope, you're not getting across here. The box says no, in the immortal words of Dr. Zoidberg. And anyone who has watched Futurama knows that reference, and if you don't, that's a shame. But we're almost at 20-minute mark, so I'm gonna end this episode right here, and we'll retry this in the next one. But until next time, I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next episode. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.